24 years old when my friend Samuel Carter looked me in the eye and said, "You live in a different New York City than I do." Sam and I had grown up together, we went to college together, we lived in New York together, but unlike me, Sam had never been hissed at on his way to work. He'd never had somebody try and rub up against him on a crowded subway car, and he never had a stranger walk up to him and tell him that they wanted to bleep him in his bleep. Nope, Sam was a dude. Sam was a dude, all right, and when he told me that he lived in a different New York City than I did, I knew that he was probably right, and that was so infuriating to both of us. So Sam and I, along with 5 of our friends, resolved to change that. It was 2005, and we'd recently heard the story of Tal Nguyen. Tal was riding the New York City subway when an older man sat down across from her, pulled out his penis, and started to masturbate. Tal pulled out her cell phone camera. She turned the lens off of her right back onto him and took his picture. She put it up on Flickr, the photo sharing website, where it created a citywide conversation about public masturbation. She tried to give it to the police, but they wouldn't even file a report. What Tal did was a game changer, and we were so inspired by her work. We thought, why don't we create a blog so that everyone can do what Tal Nguyen did? We called it Hollaback and accepted stories and photos of street harassment from around New York City. But almost immediately, we were inundated with requests from around the world. People wanted us to bring Hollaback to their town. They said that street harassment was a problem everywhere. They wanted us to be the Craigslist of street harassment, accepting stories and photos from all around the world. But we knew that if you really wanted to change the world, you couldn't just have a blog. You needed local, on-the-ground activism to go with it. So we figured out a way to take our model and give it away. Today, I'm proud to announce we're in 62 cities, in 25 countries, in 12 different languages, and now we're growing to address sexual harassment on college campuses too. Street harassment is not a new problem. It has probably existed since the advent of streets. And efforts to address it are not new either. In the 1920s, there was an effort called the Anti-Flirt Club. Terrible branding, but it was. And in the 1970s, there was an effort with the feminist movement. They brought it into the limelight again. But what is new today is the solution. Never before have we been able to document our stories of street harassment on the go, and never before have our stories mattered so much. With mobile apps, blogs, and social media, stories are amplified to thousands within minutes, and this is allowing us to build movements faster than ever before. And in 2013, we'll take our free iPhone and Android apps and we will relaunch them in New York City so that when you share your story with Hollaback in New York, you'll also be able to make an official complaint and documentation with the New York City government. It'll make New York the first city in the world to document street harassment, and we'll use that data to better target the problem of street harassment, but also to build support for education and awareness building campaigns. It's a solution that would have been technologically impossible only 5 years ago. But if it works, we'll take it and we'll scale it internationally, providing legitimacy and relief for millions. But the apps are just one piece of the puzzle. In this social media world where everyone has followers, followers become the new leaders. At Hollaback, we have trained over 200 activists around the world. We've given them our platform, our apps, our blogs, and our social media, and we've worked with them to localize the movements to their communities. Together, we have built a powerful global movement. And like all global movements, we don't always agree on how street harassment's gonna end, but we do always agree that it must end. And what we've seen is that the leaders with the least amount of access to power are the ones who are most attracted to this model of movement building. Our site leaders are 90% under the age of 30. They're 44% lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender. A third are people of color, and a quarter of them have disabilities. Under their leadership, our sites in Istanbul, Croatia, and Poland have released groundbreaking research on street harassment. Our site in Edinburgh has had the Scottish Parliament issue a motion in support of it. And Hollaback Philly will soon be getting anti-harassment ads. You see, online movement building and online activism, it's not just about making it easier to share a petition or to tell your story to your friends or to tell your friends about a cause that you care about. Online activism is about bringing solutions to problems that used to be considered hopeless. And it's about bringing a platform to leaders who used to be ignored. And that is a tremendous win. Thank you.